Hey everybody, welcome. So we've got some guests today. Actually, one guest, Dan here, with ClearEdge. He's got a brand new product that they've been working on a lot of time behind the scenes, a lot of R&D to help with automating your algorithms. I believe both from TradingView, and they will also help you out and consult with you about making those strategies, those ideas into working strategies that might be applicable in live execution. One other thing, we are going to do a giveaway. We just need just hit 50 likes. We'll do our first giveaway, and if we can hit 100 likes, we'll do another one. So Dan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We've talked a couple times, but
yeah,
first time here on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, show you guys what we've been building over many months, and spent a lot of time trying to get something out there that you don't need a computer science degree to get set up. You don't need to be some expert in automated trading to get started here. You can pretty much anyone can get going, get doing it, and it's a really exciting time for us.
Great. Okay. I guess just start with the elevator pitch. I guess that sort of was it, but you want to get into a little more detail about what it actually would mean to me as a trader.
Yeah, so our company, ClearEdge Automation, we take your strategies that are on TradingView, or we can even do indicators that are on TradingView, or other platforms that can send webhooks, and execute them on your behalf on any number of firms, including the futures desk. The ability to automate trading has been a real game changer for a lot of people, and it was something that was really only available to people that are high wealth individuals or institutions and funds previous. Now it's something that's really trying to make available to everybody. Now, I think a lot of people would agree that the biggest weakness in their own trading is their inability to follow rules, to be systematic, to stay with a plan, to stay trading their setups, what they want to exiting where they should exit, not revenge trading. Computers don't revenge trade. There's no emotion. A computer doesn't have those emotions that a person does. So removing that major hurdle for a lot of people to become profitable trading is a real game changer. And I think it can cut the time down and the learning curve down for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to just go ahead? We'll just pull up the application itself.
Sure.
Traders are pretty used to platforms, so they probably just want to dig in and see what this is about.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, this is the futures desk platform here. Today, it really only, I think I only took, well, let's see what I had for trades today. Let's see. Trades. I'm gonna make this bigger for now.
And this, so that the actual execution of the trades, so that happens on your computer, right? It's
It
not like
happens
some of
where?
the other program. It happens on the computer that's running the platform. You're
Yep.
not a cloud hosted platform where
Yeah, no, there's
you have
no
to give up control. Okay.
no, there's no cloud part of this. It's a program that is essentially an intermediary. That's probably the best way to look at it, between your charting platform and your execution platform, which is your broker, your prop firm, whatever you're trading on. I think we can support 22 different prop firms, as well as any broker or cash account that runs on various other platforms. So, I think that this account itself has only been ran on automation. Now, you can say this. I think my profit target, this one hasn't been funded with you guys yet. I think I'm about 20 days in or so, but balances, I'm getting close. I think I'm a 6,000 profit target on this one. I probably would have already been there if I have some opening range strategies that could have ran thousands of dollars one day. But the sort of base hit, you've got to set your liquidate targets at what your base hit is, and take it slow and methodical, and really build your confidence in your trading strategy. That's sort of something that I've really noticed in building automated systems and helping people get started with automated systems, is that you start to really build your own confidence in what you're doing, what you're seeing, and being able to tweak those things in your own strategy to various market conditions. So really, this account runs 3 different strategies. It runs an opening range strategy, which this was this trade here today. It broke down the opening range this morning, and it just took a 1-to-1 risk to reward on this trade. I have 1-to-1 set on shorts, because shorts often in this market that's just been constantly going up. I'm taking what I can get and I'm moving on. So I'm not trying to get over my skis. I'm not looking for a short trend day right now. And that's what I mean, where it gives you that confidence to be able to adjust your strategy to the market conditions you have. So my target, if we were to go long, is going to be 3-to-1 versus 1-to-1. So, it's a much different trading environment when you're looking at shorts versus longs. But
I would definitely, I always kind of recommend that when I hear someone has an algo they're developing, it's almost like you need an algo for your algo. For market conditions, and whether that's you as a trader or automated.
And that's just it, is that you've got to be able to identify the markets that things do well in. So the reason I built so this account runs 3 strategies, and they're 3 essentially uncorrelated, and that's really the best way that I've found to run this stuff. Is if you're going to run one strategy, great. If you're going to run 2, they better not be correlated with each other, because then you're doubling your potential drawdown when they do go into drawdown. And then third, you've got to have something that's a different type of asset. So gold, oil, silver, something that's trading something that's just out in left field that's going to do its own thing, that's going to be completely different than normal index trading. So this one runs an opening range strategy, right? It's going to long short based on the opening range. An initial balance strategy. It's looking for that first hour, a break of the highs and lows, and then a retrace of that 50%, and then taking a trade in the direction that it broke. It's very simple. It's not, I wouldn't call these algos at all. These are systematic trading strategies that are following rules. Algos are adaptive. Algos have the ability to change what they do based on market conditions, based on trade velocity. There's a lot of different types of algos out there. That's not what these are. These are systematic trading strategies that are executing rules-based operations. The other thing,
the distinction there.
It's a really important distinction, because I think there's a lot of people that call everything that is automated algos. That's not what they are. They're systematic trading systems. And it doesn't mean that one can be any less profitable than the other. Algos are not necessarily any more profitable than systematic trading strategies. They really aren't. Algos can do well, but it's really algos are much tougher to code, and they're probably more suited to people that are trading more complex instruments and potentially spread trading, or different types of strategies. But the other strategy that's trading on this is an overnight gold strategy, and I can move this to a 5-minute chart. Oops, this one. So these are the trades that it took overnight.
So with these strategies, I guess there's probably two avenues. There's one, do you have built-in strategies that traders can use if they sign up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's the avenue of, hey, I have my own idea.
Yeah.
What is that? Can you take us through both of those paths?
Yeah. So what we did was we wanted initially to have it be a platform where people could run their own strategies on. And that was the original thought, was, we want people to be able to run their own stuff, to build their own stuff. And what we found was that when people were getting started with automating, they needed somewhere to start. So we decided that it was best that we give them sort of tried and true, many years of data type strategies. Initial balance, opening range are both of those. They're profitable, long-term, market condition doesn't really matter. They make money over time, over and over and over again. And so we include those two strategies, the initial balance and the opening range strategies, with our top two plans, which are quite affordable. I look at,
and again, like it's still not set and forget. It's still, you monitor it as a trader, you check market conditions, and then you turn it on, and then at least you take off that.
Yeah. So with anything, and the idea of anything being set and forget is a pipe dream. It doesn't really exist. What there is you have the ability to set your parameters and know that your machine is going to execute a trade based on your parameters. Now, does that mean you should just leave it alone and never look at it? No. But what it does mean is probably turn your mouse off, because where people get into trouble with this stuff is they intervene. Yeah. Systematic, you change the math on mathematically profitable strategies when you intervene. It's your change. If you decide you want to exit earlier than, this doesn't look like it's going to be profitable. I can't tell you the amount of trades that our systems have taken. I'm like, I don't know about this one. And then it's $1,000 trade, $2,000 trade. oftentimes as humans, we're wrong. We're not, I've been trading for many years now and still get it wrong sometimes. But what I do is I sort of separate these into two categories. I have my accounts that I run on automation that I let the math be math and work in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have accounts that I trade discretionary on my own. Those are my own cash accounts, so I separate the two. I look at automated trading as cash flow trading, as making that daily bread. That's tends to be what happens with automated trading is you tend to do reasonably well every week. I can probably count on one hand, since I've been testing this stuff out, the amount of red weeks that I've had. They're not all crazy good weeks, but I'm not really gonna blow up as long as I'm sized accordingly. I'm doing my math right, where I am running 3 strategies, right? I need to make sure that the drawdown on those 3 strategies and my sizing does not equate to blowing an account.
Mm-hmm.
If I am oversized on any of those strategies, now there's that mathematical chance that I could blow an account.
Sure. Yeah, I went to your point. We coach a lot of traders, and the big thing we like to say is, you're handing it off to automation, so it makes it even easier to just sort of be like, okay, everything's in place, hands off. It's going to do some stuff for me to manage the trade, but it's all based on my research. It's all based on the parameters I have in place for today, for the context. That's my plan. What I say to traders is, look, you're in the trade and you're like, this looks really bad. Identify why you think it looks really bad.
Yeah.
Don't change your plan for the day. Make some notes, research it to later, and decide, should I actually change the parameters? Did that condition, was that actually something valid statistically over a long period of time that I should adjust what I'm doing? But do not change your plan during the day. That discretion, the more discretion you enter into your trading, the more inconsistencies you're going to see.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important thing when you're learning how to trade, and I've been trading many years, and I still look at myself as in the process of learning how to trade, because it's a constant, every day trying to get better and better at it, and starting to learn how to do things better and better, how to be more methodical in what I'm doing, systematic in what I'm doing, and sort of trusting that I've put the tools in place to be successful. And when you lose that, and I think that's what happens a lot with people who are manually clicking the buttons, is they lose that confidence in what the strategy that they're trading, does it work? And they're like, I don't know about this, and that's when it doesn't look right, or something doesn't feel right. Maybe you're going to be right. It's very possible you could be right, but more often than not, the human element is what gets in our own way.
Right.
And removing that through automation has really helped a lot of people that we've seen that have used our platform, that have been able to really break their own trading down into a much more systematic fashion, and define. I think what automation does too is you sit down and you have to do that math. What are the odds that I have 5 losers in a row here?
Sure.
What's the math that if I have 5 losers in a row here on 2 of my 3 strategies, and then you start doing those equations out, and you can start realizing, well, this is how I need to be sized in order for this account to keep sort of on that upward trajectory. And
I think statistics are funny like that, because it's hard for us as humans to recognize and think in terms of broad statistics and long-term data when we're down on the ground floor. We're stressed out, all that stuff's going on, you're just looking right in front of you, and at a primal level you think you're being attacked. to be able to find your way back to the statistics and the broad, what am I doing here? These are little decisions on a long journey, which is my strategy. And if I can't stick to those little decisions, I'm just not trading that strategy. I can't blame the strategy. So absolutely. Do you want to show us maybe your platform now and how this looks?
I was hoping
very abstract so far.
It would execute a trade, but
Okay.
actually this account will short if we get to the initial balance strategy 64.91. So if we get back, we pop up to 64.91, we'll get a short. But we also could get a gold trade at any point.
Okay.
So this is our platform here.
This is something you would download and install.
It is. So there are people that run it on a VPS also. The only reason that you would really want to do that is if you need to access it mobile, which you can do. We have plenty of people that do that. But I run mine personally on my own machine. You can see the down here, these are the fill speeds. So 183 milliseconds is pretty good. I mean, we're usually somewhere in the 100 to 300 millisecond speeds. You can see I'm also running a couple of practice accounts here. And the reason, and that's one of the things I really, really love about the futures desk is you can get these practice accounts, and I use them to test out strategies. So this one here is one that is just more of a scalping type strategy that I'm just running and seeing how it does on NQ. I've found that NQ has been sort of my nemesis for building automation strategies. So I'm trying to figure that out. And instead of over trading, I sit here and I play with different strategies and different things on these practice accounts. And I try and get some good data so that maybe I could add a fourth strategy into my portfolio here. So then we've got, so this up here is going to be my initial balance strategy. I know I have all my sort of abbreviations for them, but this is a gold strategy here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's on the wrong account.
You want to leave that open for a second? We can look at the
Sure.
So for each of these, you can create a new strategy.
Yep.
Strategy or indicator. What would be the difference there?
So, and I'll do it because this one's a live one, but I'm going to add a new setting here. So this is if I wanted to build a new strategy, I wanted to automate something else that I'm not currently running.
And this is hooking up strategies that have already been developed.
What's that?
This would be strategies that have already been developed elsewhere.
Yeah, if you had a separate account and you wanted to, or a practice account, and you wanted to test different settings on an existing strategy where different sizing settings, different risk reward, different, for our opening range strategy, you can do a 5-minute opening range, 15-minute opening range, 1 hour, Globex highs, lows, all different options. And you wanted to test that, how it executes, how it trades for a week, how it trades for a month. You can do that, and you can run it right here. So it doesn't necessarily need to be something else that you code. It's right within our strategies, the two that we offer for free. There's lots of different options that you can test out and try on NQ. You could try it on ES. You could try and see on RTY how it does. You can get that data. So then you can look at your back test data that you're getting on TradingView, which me and you, Josh, have had conversations about whether, it's the most reliable or least reliable, and it probably somewhere in between. But before I ever put a strategy on real money, it's ran on a practice account for a while. I want to see how it behaves. I want to see how it acts. And I want to see that if the data that I'm looking at on the TradingView side matches the data that I'm getting in the execution side. So that sort of tells me, especially if I'm building something new, if I'm on the right track. If I'm building something new within the TradingView platform, I want to know if that's back testing accurately on what it does when it actually executes a trade. So that's the process I go through for learning something and learning things behavior. So we could call this, anything we want. Futures desk, let's call it that. Pick an account, let's go put it on the practice account. Then you just go right here and you can pick through any number, whatever contract you want to trade. Pretty much every futures contract is here that is offered on your platform, offered on through Project X or.
Cool. So you're mapping. So you got the two strategies that are built in, and you guys are always tweaking those, I imagine, so they get updates to them.
Yeah, we have an update probably end of this week that we've been working on.
And then the other avenue would be they can code it themselves, or they work with you every time. How's that work?
Yeah, so we have a Discord room, and eventually it's going to be built right into this software. So we can show you sort of an example. Like this is where you can go to your prop firm deals page, and you could click here and go right to your account and get an account that you're going to then set up here. Mm-hmm. Now, eventually there'll be a tab here for strategies, and we've worked with a couple of different people that have very good strategies, reliable strategies. I actually run one of the vendors that we have in Discord, his gold strategy. It's an overnight strategy that just kills it. It does just really, really well overnight. Usually takes 2, maybe 3 trades overnight. That's about it. Sometimes it'll take 1. Sometimes the other night it took 5. But it just does really, really solid over a long period of time. It's done very, very well for us. So we gave him permission to sell access to that strategy right in the room. I think he has a free trial of it that people can test it out, see how it works. Lots of different risk settings that he has built into it. And we're testing a couple others for other vendors that we're going to be putting right in our platform that people can choose from and sort of pick and choose and build their own portfolio of strategies that they want to automate. And they'll be able to get their statistics, how they've back tested traditionally, any forward test data that's existed on them, and then sort of live 24-hour support that we've built in for all of our stuff. So
for the so there's usually a lot of technical people that join. So what do you think that'll look like? If I had a new strategy and I'm like, I know how to code, I would like some automation platform, and it sounds like you're giving them a way to offer how that strategy gets hosted, so it's platform independent.
Absolutely. And
what would that code look like? Is it C#? Is it? I assume it's not PineScript because that's licensed.
So they can, wherever they are coding their strategy, as long as they can send a webhook to us, we could accept it. But I think that really when we discussed building this platform, we did not want to be in the strategy making and selling and servicing business. I think that the community of traders out there do a really good job of deciding, hey, this is what I like to trade. This is how I like to trade it. Giving them an avenue to get their own stuff built and automated. That's one. And 2 would be if they already have something built that is reliable, they've been trading for a long period of time manually, giving them a way to automate it for themselves and potentially offer it for sale to other people to take advantage of. So really what we want to build is like a community of people that are working together to get the most out of trading in an automated fashion. There's a lot of strategies that work really well. There's some that don't. I've had people come to me and say, hey, this is how I trade. Do you think this is something we could automate? And my first question is, okay, well, where's your stop loss? You have to be able to quantify these things in order for it to be viable strategy that is automated.
Sure.
If you can't quantify those things, you don't have the ability to automate that.
Yeah, it's a good exploratory pattern for people just to understand. systematic approaches to trading and why they're
Yeah.
important. You definitely probably just by going through these exercises, you'll probably find some more information about yourself. So you you do integrate with TradingView already, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct? So if someone has something that they've built already in TradingView or something they like, they can use this as a
Yeah.
proxy or intermediary, as you said,
Yep.
to take signals from your TradingView stuff, pipe it through here, and it'll map it to products on prop firms or your own cash accounts.
Yeah. Right now, this is all the stuff that we can, all the firms that we can work with at the moment. So anyone that's NinjaTrader, Trade8, or any of these other ones that are on Project X, you just add. If you want to run something off NinjaTrader, you just add it there. And then you hit this start automation button, and it's going to bring you to your NinjaTrader login screen. You're going to log into your account and connect our platform right to your NinjaTrader account. And then it'll start executing trades on your behalf. Obviously, there's a few small steps remaining, but that's the gist of it. One of the big steps that we actually just put a major update out last weekend was we were using a third-party webhook service, and now we've gone to our own servers that will be able to. For example, one of the big mistakes that people make when they automate. All right, well, I woke up a little late. Now it's 8:30. I got the alert on my phone that my strategy would have entered. I run down to my computer, I hit the start button, but I didn't enter. It didn't enter the trade, right? So now does the system know that you would have entered a trade? Normally the answer would be no. So what moving to our own systems has done is will allow us to have that data where we'll know that a signal would have been sent, and we know not to exit it and essentially reverse you.
That's interesting.
So that's where we are all traders. All of us that have worked on this, so we're traders. We've been trading for a long time. So those little hiccups that can happen when you automate things, we're aware of, and
Sure.
so we're trying to build in safeguards for those. Also, we wanted our platform to be incredibly simple to use, incredibly simple to set up, where you don't need to do a ton of different steps. It's you come in here, you hit this, you add your broker, it's Trade8, you hit start automation, and it will bring you right to Trade8 where you log in. We don't want it to be complicated. We don't want it to be where you need to code anything. That's one of the biggest questions we get on our help desk when people are looking at us is, do I need to know how to code? And the answer is no, you don't need to know how to code. You need to be able to follow a 1.5 minute video that tells you how to set it up.
So you've got the two strategies again. If someone wants to, you said there's some additional people in your Discord that have built stuff, and now they're starting to offer those strategies on your platform. How would they get access to that? Does that just show up? Do they purchase it through them and then you enable it, or what would that look like for people?
Yeah, so how it works when you purchase a TradingView strategy from anybody, most people use a platform called WAP but other people, like we actually sell our software on there for now. We're building the back end right through our website where you'll be able to purchase our software and get your license key right from our website instead of going through a third party. But for the most part, most of these strategies are sold through WAP. A lot of them have free trials, so you can spend time getting set up. And the person who built it is in our room that's going to provide support, help you with the risk settings, help you with what instrument to run it on, how to make it the most productive for your risk profile. So, I think that Yeah, that's really how it works. And as we grow and get bigger, like we're testing 5 or 6 strategies from other vendors right now, and we're not going to let someone just come into our room and sell something that's going to lose people a ton of money. Quite frankly, not all every strategy is going to have red days.
Sure.
It might even have red weeks. But what we don't want is someone that is putting something out there that just stinks, that just does not provide any sort of value to our customer base. So
That's good. I like the vetting process you're doing.
yeah, exactly. So every strategy that we look at is vetted for us for quite some time before it's available
Nice.
for anyone to purchase through our platform at all.
We had a question here from Sire. Looks interesting. Is there any free trial?
Currently, we don't have a free trial, but so we will be offering a discount code for people to get started. You know, free trials are tough because it's automation is one of those things where you need a couple of days, and some people need a couple of weeks to really figure it out. And a free trial, I don't think, gives people the time to figure it out. And if they put the time and they put the effort in, they will get it. They will. It's just like it's a new skill you're learning. And sort of something that we found that when you give people 3 days, they're like, yeah, well, I had a hiccup, it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to invest in yourself, you want to invest in getting better, you want to systematically trade, we're here for you, and we will help you get started. We will put in the time to give people the individual attention to get going. That's really important to us, is that that people will be successful.
Cool. It's also considered a bot trading by some prop firms.
Yeah.
Well, the only important one is us, and we allow it. So we totally align with, as long as you're not doing anything that's going to cause problems at the CME or.
Yeah, and that's a big reason why we're a desktop platform, and we talked about this before, and not a cloud-based platform or anything, is that this is running from your machine. And maybe you could talk about sort of that rule, because you guys are really, we've talked about this a lot in both internally in our company, and myself and you talked about this sort of at length previous, is that people don't really understand the reasons why there's rules in place, and when you put people to live trading, there's rules that you guys as the broker have to follow.
Yeah. So well, we're not a broker at this point, but the big thing is just knowing that you're so we're in a lot of prop firms, people view them as games and things like that, but we're putting traders live. They're going into live brokerage accounts. It's important to follow these regulatory rules. We want to know that you are our risk manager. So we are hiring you as a contractor to manage the capital in these accounts. We give you a payout, but the money is technically, it's our capital. So it's important that you treat it as if it's as important as possible. And so if you're doing automated trading or anything like that, we just need to know you're in full control of that capital. You can flatten it. You're monitoring it. We don't care about automated trading, and in fact, I've got a big computer science background, so for me, it's just inevitable that most of trading is going to go to some sort of semi-automated, at least, fashion of trading eventually. So it would be silly to ignore it and say you're not allowed to do it, and that's why we do it.
Well, and I think and as prop firms are still a reasonably new thing, and in the last 2 years or so when we started this sort of journey, and I actually looked back, we started this journey on trying to build a retail centric automation platform. We had a master sheet of all the prop firms, every single one. And we looked back at that maybe a month ago, and there was 8 for futures. There was dozens for FX and stuff like that. But, there was 8 for futures. Now there's I don't know how many, a lot. And so there's a major competition within prop firms to battle for the same customers, right? And I think that that's where the futures desk is doing something that's really sort of ahead of the curve. It is all of these other prop firms are customers are going to want user-friendly rules, and every firm is going to be battling to make the most user-friendly rules, and some to their own demise because they're going to be paying out more than they're going to be taking in. We've seen that in other cases. And in you guys' case, you say, well, if we just align ourselves with the trader's interest, then, and the traders are successful at what they do, for example, a trader running stuff like this that is systematic, that is mathematical, you guys get a piece of that upside, and you're aligned with the trader. And I think that that's a really important concept for people to understand, is that as prop firms grow, as they become a more mature industry, the rules are going to become more aligned with the trader, and because of that battle for the same customers. So I think that that's where you're going to start seeing a lot of the firms allowing automation, because it's going to be something that's going to become more mainstream. Right now, it's not. It's a very sort of small portion of the prop firm traders out there automate. We want to make it a larger portion.
Yeah, I think to your point about how we align with the traders, it's definitely, we reverse the thinking. We could have made a whole lot more money up front in the shorter term by paying out of pocket, not aligning with the traders, finding all these rules, all these gotchas to build the perfect carnival game that, screws up the traders. But we definitely took the approach of, we are going to keep the core value of, we are committed to the trader. How do we improve the trader? And we're going to go full in on that, not just little bits for marketing, not being like, oh, look, we added one metric to our dashboard. This is for the traders. We're doing this for you guys. It's literally, when we're behind the scenes, our team's talking about it, we're thinking, how do we improve the traders? How does this add value to the trader? And we don't call them customers. They're our traders. We're trying to bring these traders together and make them produce more capital in our live accounts. It's legitimately that. So
yeah, and I think that providing the tools that you guys have provided is one thing. Guidance and how to manage that risk becomes firm capital, right? They get moved to live. They are for all intents and purposes, are now trading for a firm. And there's the prop trading world has done a sort of a big change in the last 5-10 years, where, and I think another one's coming, is that there was this real rush to the other side where we're going to offer these really cheap evaluations with every way imaginable to not pay you. Oh, you made too much money. Oh, you didn't make enough money. Oh, you made too much money in a short period of time. You made too little money in a long period of time. It's absurd. And I think as time goes on, it's going to, the firms that do that, people are just going to stop doing business with them.
Yeah, I think there's a surge right now of FX firms. I haven't been part of the FX world at all, but a huge amount of those companies are kind of jumping ship and moving into the future space. And
of course they are, because
I think because that's even less under the umbrella of regulatory, just by definition, the stuff that's just international and completely outside of regulatory, where this stuff, the CME's offering the data, the CME's heavily regulated, they can start cutting off data feeds to some of these companies that are bad actors. They're not legitimately trying to improve traders and have them trade their accounts.
No,
they're just not. It's just not the intent. They're just trying to play the same game they were playing in FX, and they're trying to adapt a little bit. But I think they're kind of in for a shock, because they are, in the end, pushing people towards a regulated industry, and that regulated industry is not going to want to be represented by bad players. So yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of
a reckoning,
and a falling out of a lot of firms.
I do too.
Sure.
And I think that's why I think this is, like I said, it's been in the making for a couple of years now. And really, I think that there's no more perfect time than now to get people over to the side of systematic trading and automated trading, because I think that all of these places are going to start wanting you, not just sort of saying it's okay. They're going to want you to do it because it manages firm capital better.
Yeah.
I
don't know how many of these firms will really translate to that model, because unless you can really produce good traders and try to actually put in, it's a lot of energy. We put in a lot of work, a lot of coaching time to the risk management portion of our live accounts. And it's constantly getting marginal increase in efforts, or not in efforts, but in results. And we just keep pushing on it. It's like a strategy. We're almost trading the traders. How do we get the traders in there? How do we guide them to manage their risk better? And how do we get their profit factors higher? I think a lot of these companies will probably just be going belly up and abandoning. A lot of them have a lot of responsibility for payouts. So they're either going to have to do huge, they lose a week or two of new traders coming in. They're just in a really bad place, especially if they have to pay out too much.
The prop firm race to the bottom.
Yeah, it's wild to see from my angle. But anyway, a little bit of a tangent there, but I'm biased with how we do things, and I think it's
I've been around this business for long enough to know the good players and the bad players and the meh. And I think what you guys are doing is very good for the trader. And that's really it. You should be able to have a path to trading live capital. If you want to do this and you want to make money over duration, there needs to be a path to trading live capital. If you are sitting there trading, fake money all the time for the rest of your life and taking payouts from a pile of money on other people's despair, and failure, I don't think that's a sustainable thing. Maybe it is for some, but I think that if you really want to do this as a career potentially, or as at least as a productive side gig, trading live capital and real capital and learning how to respect live capital and real money is a really important part of it.
Yeah, and the path to live thing has been, I think, abused a little bit, because a clear path to live is one thing, but like a fairly efficient, quick path to live is a different thing. We've got several dozen live traders right now, maybe 50 plus. And with the size of our firm compared to any other firm, we have by far, I'm sure, the highest proportion of live traders. Some of these companies, they've got 8 months, 6 months. I don't know what you end up doing, but if you take it slowly, you're not rushing it, and you're just taking very small payout, they'll cap your payouts, and then you have to trade X amount of days, and then finally you'll get to a live account. So they've kind of like checked off the box of path to live, but realistically, what we know is until you're in a live account, we can't fundamentally say that we're 100% on your side, right? As a business model, value-wise, we are. We'll still coach you. We'll still do all that stuff. But as a business model, once you're in the live account, we can say 110%. It's like we want to 110% do everything we can to make sure you do your best job. So the longer period of time these companies are to getting that, they're looking at you as more of a liability than something that can generate any kind of profit. Cool. Looks like we passed the 50 mark, so we are going to go into the spinning of the wheel. The fun part here is, Dan, we got a lot of names we can't read, so we let the guests butcher the name when they read it. So I'll let you names who win.
I'll let you handle that.
No, it's all for the guests. That's our little thing. We let you read the names out loud.
Let's see. Thank you for the honor.
And I believe first $200 credit for the futures desk will go to.
Jayesh Bhatia.
That's pretty good.
I think.
Congratulations, Jayesh.
I don't know. Bhatia, maybe.
Raj will reach out to you. Send you an email to the one you used to enter the competition. Second $200 credit goes to. This is you again, Dan.
Robert Botkin.
Right.
I can do that one.
Okay. And so those are our giveaways for credit.
Sure.
And did you say you were going to give away something?
Sure. We would love to.
Okay, great.
We can certainly give away a free month access to one of our top 2 plans, the ones that have the strategies included, so you can check them out, play with them.
Awesome.
Hopefully run them on a futures desk account and get some data, figure out how they work within what you're trying to do. That's Todd DeVore.
I'll give Todd, congrats, and I'll give Dan your email, and he'll send you an email, and he'll get that sorted out for your.
Yeah, that would be great. That's an easy way to do it. Absolutely.
One other thing we have is we've been running a very short. We didn't make a huge deal about it, so you might not have heard about it lately, but we had a lot of interest in traders wanting to put even less upfront.
Yep.
Possibly.
I saw those accounts.
Yeah, so we had
one of our. The guy who built the overnight gold strategy got one of those accounts, and he's been crushing it.
Oh, great! Yeah, so we got the launchpad.
Like 200. Is it a 200? Yeah, $200 base hit essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really small. It's a bump. The price is just above the practice accounts. Honestly, if you're getting those on your own, it's a pretty clear. It's all the same rules that we have normally, right? The parameters are slightly different, like any plan. The big thing here is it's $25 up front, and it's our first plan of the type where after you pass the assessment, you pay another fee. That's something that we don't do by default normally. We've always had pressure from it. People want it. So we finally, this is us sort of giving in a way. It's if people want it and they want to try it and they like that, we'll do it.
That's why
what's different about us.
The giving in was why we started offering 2 strategies to begin with. We're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, they want it. You have to listen.
If you guys really want it, we will do it.
So the big thing with our program in general is we did everything we could to put any of the rules and testing to vet our traders in the beginning. So while other firms might launch a $30 account or because it's 90% off or whatever the parameters are, and then you pay some $100 fee to go into the next steps, which would be considered funded. The difference with ours is after you're paying that fee, you are in a sim brokerage account that has no consistency rules. You get through that account in one day. It's easier. So once you pass our assessment, everything gets easier. Everything always gets progressively easier with us, and we'll actually, when we talk to you, we'll even talk about scaling your contract limits up or your daily losses up. So a lot of times you're dealing with these programs where they want you to pay $25 and they really, really want you to get through the test and then make it hard for you because you'll pay another fee before you do that.
Yeah.
Our program's not like that in any of the accounts. So we really think it's a really good offering for people that do want to pay less upfront because they aren't as comfortable about passing right away. The total cost for it is still going to be more than if you just bought one of our other plans and adjusted the settings for it. So that is something to consider if you feel more comfortable about I'm ready. This is about the money, the dollar amount I want to pay. You can take that approach. This is just a great offering for people that want a really small account. They want to use all of our tooling. They want to look at all of our statistics. They want to get access to the coaching. This $25 account, if you get through it and you pass and you get to our live brokerage and you're doing well, this account could be just the same as all the other. This is the kind of account you could slowly grow. And this could be an account that we appropriate, 10, 15, 20 minis to, and a $5,000 daily loss eventually if the account grew to that size and you're performing like that. So none of these accounts are going to limit you in the long term, including the Launchpad account. It's ending tonight. That's the whole point of me bringing it up. We'll see if we bring it back. We're going to monitor the statistics of all the traders that went through it.
Did you see a lot of people using them?
Yeah, there's a lot of signups. I think it's kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people, especially if you're looking at a practice account. Like $6 more, and then if you do pass, you do have the opportunity to continue, unlike the practice accounts. So yeah, that's what it is. If you have any questions about it,
I have a question. Can you get if you get that account, can you get an additional practice account to have something running alongside it?
Yeah, you can use that as your starter for your practice. Yep.
One thing you
won't get, you can't get level 2 data. So if you want depth, there's no loophole there, guys.
Yeah, I don't use any of that anyways, because I'm running the automated stuff that's running elsewhere and executing there, so I don't need the level 2 data, and so that's, for me, it's not necessary.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can run through any questions we got. I think we got most of them earlier. If he's trading with automation, why he need a chair? I like that one.
What was it?
He asked if you're trading with automation, why do you even need a chair?
Yeah, I mean, my stuff is all running right now. Why I need a chair? Well, because otherwise I would have to stand up to talk to you guys.
Yeah, there you go. It's good to rest. Yeah, can you go into a little bit more about the trading view to Edge? Sorry, ClearEdge, not Edge Clear, guys. That's a brokerage. This is ClearEdge, not
clearinghouse.
Totally different.
Yeah. So how is getting the strategy to trade?
So if I had a trading view strategy, how would I get it? How would I do the webhooks?
So let's share. Let's set one up. All right.
So again, he's got 2 strategies built in, but if you got something going on TradingView and you're like, I just want this to execute on my props.
So let's set up one of the ones that I'm testing right now. I can show you how to do it. Let's go setting up on my practice account. All right. So the test, we'll call it. And then I just click on this integration tab here. All right. That's my webhook URL. Once you put that into your trading view once, you will never have to do it again. It's there. Unless we change something up and tell you you're going to have to do it again, we'll send a message right to your software.
And that's for your account. Is that the whole account? Is that for your user? Where's that? Is that URL the same?
Yeah. So if you go to your settings, this is your webhook. This is your user webhook.
Okay.
That won't change. That is unique to you. That helps us to look at the log. If something goes wrong and you say my trade didn't execute, we can tell if user XYZ got a signal sent to us. Or it can help us identify very quickly if there was something that happened where it was a setup issue, which is normally what happens. I've done it where I've put in the wrong strategy and made an alert on the wrong strategy. So I just take my message here and I can put this into, actually one I'm testing just took a short. So this is how I would set an alert on that. I had to go to
there. No, I'm just kidding.
I put the alert there. I just take that message.
So for those who haven't done this before, so he creates an alert in TradingView.
Yep.
It's the settings from his platform, from now I'm going to say it wrong, ClearEdge. Correct. And you just paste it in.
Just paste it in. And you'll see, I'll show you
alert in TradingView to this platform.
My personal webhook is already here. So I don't need to do that every time. Now it's set up, right? I can go back to my ClearEdge. Let's go to my practice account. See if I'm down $57. I don't remember. What did I put that on? MNQ, I think. Q. So let's go to my ClearEdge software. There we go. And we can do a test. Oh, Did I set something up? Oh, I didn't have it turned on. See how fast it executed?
Awesome.
I know I set it up right now. And I
Great.
sell. You can test
Easy
it
as that.
as
So
many
if
as
you
you
have
want.
something you want to execute on these prop firms, they don't support TradingView. We're one of those. You can use that, and TradingView doesn't have automation built in, right? That you couldn't
No.
even do that with TradingView. So regardless, you need some third party. They're a
Yep.
great one. Hook up the signal, let it execute your strategy. Again, they've got the built-in ones, and they've got these extensibility points.
Yep.
So if I was if I was programming my own, I could also I wouldn't have to worry about how does Rhythmic work, how does Tradeovate work, how do all these APIs work. I could
Nope.
just send a webhook to that URL as a programmer when I want it to execute, and it's going to
Correct.
handle the full orchestration of it.
Yep. And you can see here, these were the speeds we just got on those tests that I just sent. So 125 milliseconds, 161, 140, 198. It's pretty good.
Right.
For a webhook based system, you don't really get much faster than that.
So it looks like I see the question here. Is it exclusive? No, it's not exclusive. We're just he's one of our traders, and him and his team are building this cool project. So we're just shining a little light on it here. But it works with. He's got a big handful of brokers. Basically, anybody that supports Tradeovate or Project X, I believe, are the two right now. Is that correct?
Yep. Anyone that's on Project X, I think. I mean, as soon as a firm puts on Project X, we add it.
Right.
You know,
this isn't something we offer. This is, if you want, we'll put the link in the show notes, and you can head over to the Discord and his website. Sounds like his Discord is pretty active. A lot of helpful people there, so you can talk about strategies, and people are sharing their strategies and things like that.
And one thing that is nice about our platform that we've put in is we have a built-in help desk. So if you ever need help, like my alert didn't fire, you could ask it. It's going to give you
Interesting name.
It comes right to all of our phones. We'll see it. We'll be able to supervise it. It tells us it tells you all the issues. If you even you go to the website, we have the same AI help desk here that we've been training for quite some time. She does a pretty good job. She does a pretty good job of learning, and if she gets something wrong, we jump in and right away and correct it, and then the next person that asks that same question gets a better, cleaner answer. So that's built right into the software.
Let's get one more question here, and then we'll wrap it up. Is this operated from the cloud or desktop? So what I saw was the signal service is cloud-based, but the trade execution runs from your desktop.
Yeah, the trade execution is local. It's right on your desktop.
So it'll come from your IP, and does it show up as a registered app? You guys had to register your app, or is it just use the API and like with register? You don't use Rhythmic. You don't use.
Probably a question for the software guys more than me.
Yeah, no problem. It's okay. So basically, this will look like you're executing. This is you executing from your.
Yeah. So I believe you looked at the back end of my account, and you couldn't see anything different about.
No, it's just so Rhythmic. It doesn't look like you guys have Rhythmic at this point.
No, we don't.
Rhythmic, you have to register an app.
No.
Give it an app name, and they give you a special code and all that stuff, and we can see.
I think I don't think Rhythmic's going to be the data feed of choice for very long.
Okay. Cool. So I don't think anybody else has any questions. Oh, there we go.
Absolutely. I see that question. Do you test the vendors on your platform? Absolutely. There will be no one that sells a strategy that's a hunk of garbage.
And like he said, no, he can't promise that these strategies are going to work. Like as is, if you don't touch them and you just turn these things on, that's not what this is. This is a platform. They do include a couple strategies that you can work with, and they'll do some execution automation for you based on opening range breakout, those kinds of things.
Yep.
It's still on you to adjust strategies at the right time, the parameters on them. But it gives you that opportunity to say, okay, this is what I want to do today. This is what I'm seeing. These are the market conditions. Now keep my hands off it so I don't mess it up like I did yesterday.
So I'll show just as an example. This morning, the only trade that really triggered for me was this one, opening range 5 minute, short only. The futures desk is what this is, right? So I had that on this morning. I turned it off after it took a trade because then I just tell myself, okay, that's off for the day. That's my own personal habit. Do you need to? No, but it's just a personal habit of mine. Now, this trade triggered today because I turned it on. I normally only have long only, which is a 15-minute opening range. I have a 5-minute opening range. That's my short because normally you get that quick move down in the morning. I want to capture that. So I have it as a 5-minute opening range. The long tends to take a little more time to develop, to break out. I want that to be a bigger, cleaner move. So I have that as a 15 minutes. So there's endless possibilities, even with our free stuff, how you can customize that to your own profile.
Awesome. Okay. Can we get the stats? So do you have some stats? So stats are interesting. I think especially with what he's doing here. So again, he's adjusting for market conditions. This isn't he ran an orb strategy that they have built in. He didn't touch it for 2 months, and here's your results. Here's a strategy that you're aware of, but the parameters do adjust. The dynamic nature of the market needs to change the dynamic nature of your algo. The algos aren't algos as he categorized it. They're not self-learning systems. They're systems that you can monitor.
Correct.
Turn on, turn off. So publishing stats for that isn't.
And
the results would vary very wildly for the same people running it over the same.
So I mean, I'm happy to show the way I have mine set up, and the stats that how I set it. But if you look, this is my short only one, and I marked it with a red chart. But the drawdown on my short only one is much higher than would be good for most people. Now, I don't have this on every day. I have this on because I tend to have a pretty good feel of the market. I turn it on when I think there's a good short opportunity. So I'm much more selective when I turn this on. Now, long only, that is much cleaner in how that looks, but it's a much lower drawdown. But also my sizing is going to be different than what yours is, right? So if I'm sizing higher, the stats are going to change for what you are. So it's when you get the software, you come in the Discord, we can talk about how you should size it for your personal circumstances that makes sense, so that you don't ever get yourself in a situation where you're gonna let the math sort of math you out and knock you out because there are going to be losing days. Sure. I mean, it's just how it goes. I mean, the last couple of trades in this strategy on the upside have been losers. Right. And you can see that.
And it's also, it's a standard disclaimer that you hear a lot, but it's a valid one if you listen to it. And it's, those past results from a strategy or anything are not necessarily indicative of what's going to happen for you or the results. So if you're looking for a click it on, you're good, you're making tons of money, and you don't have to think about it. You're good luck finding that for anything less than a team of PhDs.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff out there that our most expensive thing that we offer is $170 a month. And I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find something equivalent for under $300, $350 minimum. And it probably has a quarter of the capabilities. We wanted to be affordable so that every person who wants to trade. We had a guy that did an eval, never traded futures before. We helped him get started, get set up just with the initial balance strategy, and he was able to pass an evaluation. He said, "What does it mean when I got to my profit target?" Because he didn't know. He'd never done it. He traded options, so never used a prop firm. So we wanted to be able that everyone can get going here. It might take you a little more time if you've never traded futures, but we take a lot of pride in being easy to use.
How would you learn to make these strats? So I think that's just I think that overlaps a lot with just strategy building, whether you're using making strats that are programmatic that fit on this platform or you're making a strategy in general. I'm not sure if the question was where it was geared. One side of that is look, to develop a strat, it's complicated. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of screen time. You have to understand statistics. You got to do back testing, logging,
Yeah.
forward test. If you're talking about building a strat that works for this platform, I assume you guys have some help documentation that talks about how to send the messages to trigger entries and exits.
Yes, there is there is a clear how-to video. Any issue that you have getting set up, we're right there to help you. We can certainly we can certainly get you along, but the the um, the setup stuff, we've taken a lot of time and audited that setup process many times, so that because it can be that's the biggest hurdle. People always think this is going to be difficult to set up, and that's really the sort of stigma that we are trying to push through, is that anyone can do this, anyone can get set up, we can help you get set up. The instructions we've built are very comprehensive, easy to follow, click by click videos. That's really what we wanted to do. And for anyone that does want to get started that wasn't here earlier, we do have a first month discount. 20% is we can which is first month 20 is the coupon. If anyone has any questions on that, they can certainly go to our website and talk to the help desk, and they can send you the coupon right there. She is well trained to send you that discount code if you guys are interested in giving us a try.
So they're wondering about privacy issues with their settings and their strategies.
It is. No, we cannot see any of that stuff.
So all the settings and everything are stored locally on the person's computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only thing that we would ever get would be it would go to a mass server that is execution data, and all it tells us is that a signal was sent to our server that executed a trade at XYZ time. We don't know anything else besides that. But yeah, no, there's everything for the most part comes from TradingView, TrendSpider, whatever the platform is they use, and so we don't have any of that data.
Cool.
I mean, you should always test everything.
Back testing, forward testing, always be testing, always be adjusting. Markets are dynamic beast. Cool.
It looks like actually, let's see.
Get another trade.
It was a trade. Yeah, I must have missed it, but I have multiple accounts where we're testing different things. But while we were talking, it took a long on gold strategy that I built a long time ago. That is not a public sale. This is my own, but that I built. But it just trades gold. Takes maybe one trade a day. So there it is, one trade. I didn't even know it happened while we were talking. So
I think I saw a message that popped up that said you had a profitable one.
Yeah, it was probably
your wife,
the other co-founder, being like, "Hey, you should flip to that other account, dummy."
Gotcha.
But
cool, awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on. If you have questions, Dan's in our Discord. He's got his own Discord here for this, and his team. We got the website listed, and if you have any questions, you know where to ask us, and you know where to ask them. So. Thanks for hopping on, Dan.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoy talking about it and talking to people that know what they're talking about on trading. So thanks, Josh, as always. I enjoy having the conversations with you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.